Well, hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
I really appreciate you coming because it's, I love that parents are willing to kind of bear their experience here and go, okay, what's she going to say to me? You have a situation with your son, and you had shared with me that he was a type 4 with a secondary one. I think you had said?
Yeah.
He's 9 years old?
He is 11.
Oh, he's 11. Okay. And he's had a previous history of being on medication for ADHD.
Correct.
And there's been some issues of late that you've been struggling and really concerned that maybe he needs to go back on it. Is that right?
He has been on it. We're just wondering if maybe we need to have a stronger medication.
Oh, he's still on it right now.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So, wondering if it needs to be increased. So,
however, as a mother, I would rather not.
You'd like to take him off it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ultimate desire and the goal would be to get him off meds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my first question to Stephanie before we started filming this video was, are you sure he's a type 4? Because that didn't all fit in my world of what you're telling me about him and his history with ADHD is a higher movement. It's typically been associated with type 1 children. And I'll get into the mechanics of that, of how we can aggravate a type 1's movement so that it's out of balance and extreme expression so that it then gets labeled as that. And so you didn't say, yeah, I know for sure. You're like, well, I don't know. And I said, can I see his photograph? Mm-hmm. And you showed me a picture of him, and he's a type 1. He's actually a 1-3.
Oh.
Which is super high.
No 4 at all.
Not in his dominant and secondary.
Yeah,
those are two very high movements to just come as the dominant and secondary energy. So what made you consider him being a type 4? What were you gauging that by?
Well, first of all, it was the things that he was attracted to. I thought he was pulling a lot of blacks and bright reds. And then also that he really enjoys putting together puzzles, and he likes Monopoly. He likes things that are not of the kind of thing that I enjoy, but seem to be more on the structured side of things.
So you were reading that all as that's somehow that he had a natural connection with structured things.
Correct.
Okay, although I wouldn't consider those things necessarily being really structured in the sense of what I would, 11-year-old, sitting and playing with Legos for 2 hours in your room by yourself. Would be very type 4, or connects by age 11, something that's very analytical and a very fine-tuned, very specific movements, and based on his features and what I saw in his photograph, he is a type 1. And so maybe without your knowledge of this previously, and have you had some stressful, in the last 5 to 6 years, have you been dealing with a lot of personal stress?
Oh, absolutely.
And life challenge.
We've blended families. We've dealt with losing the custody of the children and gaining it back and trying to put that together.
Okay.
You bet.
All right. So you've been operating on a higher level of intense energy and in your type 3 movement, a little all over the place, a little bit in your own way.
Yeah. I find that I'm not as happy as I used to be as a mom.
So type 1, all children do this, but type 1, because their energy systems are so open, he'll be affected by your energy. And it's almost like it's amplifying his. It's causing it to operate out of balance. Because ultimately he wants his mommy to be happy.
Right.
Okay. Children don't do this consciously, that they run their parents' energy, but it's very common that children will kind of be a channel, especially type 1 children, for their parents' stress levels. And that will throw their system out of balance. And now you're dealing with added stress because you've got a child that's amped up in a way.
Correct.
They're on overdrive.
Yeah.
So his type 1 energy is now on overdrive.
And in fact, it's very loud because...
Well, he's got that 3 energy to push.
But when he's not being recognized as type 1, then he goes into the anger, which is also
that's interesting because we as children, we'll revert to our secondary energy a lot out of survival because the dominant, our true nature's not being seen. So it's kind of like I have to demand that my needs get met. He has no conscious playing out of this. He's not crafting all this in his mind.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Sorry. He has no capacity to. He doesn't have a sense of reason to play that all out. He's playing off your energy first. He's going to play off yours. Then when you've then profiled him, misprofiled him, you're now putting a perception of who he is that's not correct. And what's happening is his type 1 energy is not being identified and recognized. And so what we do with type 1 children too frequently is we medicate them to alter their behavior so they'll conform to the environments they need to conform to. And ultimately that's not what you want. And I know you don't want that.
Right.
And so it's a go back and read the type 1 section, because see, you didn't even associate that with him.
Correct.
Read the type 1 section in the Child Whisperer, very objectively saying what's missing from this child's life. Because what environmentally are they not being supported with? What in my parenting approach are they not being supported with? He's now you have a new spouse. You've recently remarried.
Uh-huh.
He's not his parent, but he is a parent in a manner. He plays a parenting role.
Correct.
Does he recognize his type 1 nature? Or is he heavy-handed on him too?
He's pretty...
What demands is that adult now putting on him?
Yeah.
The environment and the adults in his world are making extreme demands on this child behavior, and so medication becomes and we people agree, you're desperate, you're stressed, you want something's changed. I don't think you're trying to medicate your child. You thought it was an answer, you thought it was a solution. And it's I'll be honest, it's not. It's wounding, because it also now labels a child that who you are is wrong, and we have to medicate you for that. Yeah. And so he is out of balance. I know his energy's out of balance. It's not operating in I use the word in ease, true to his nature. He will be more high movement though. He always will be. He just will. And what needs to happen in your parenting approach and in the environments to allow that come back into balance. And I also recommend, when you have a child that's on meds and you want to help taper that off and get them off, those first two things need to be played out. They're essential. You have to look at your parenting approach and the environment and what needs to be altered in both of those. And then for shifting off the medication, I've talked about this a lot on my radio show, truehope.com. Find a link in the copy. They are a nonprofit organization that has some very superior products that are mineral-based, and they're very versed in taking people off medications that address what we have labeled as mental illnesses. Because really, ADHD is saying your child has a mental illness, and he doesn't. He's a type 1 child that's misunderstood, that's been through a lot of stress because his mommy has. So are things going better for you now?
Well,
you get this resolved, but you're remarried.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're in a better place. You've got more stability, a little more reserve, which will be good for you to now work with this.
And now I have the opportunity to focus on the children.
Yeah.
And raising them in their energy, which I think is so powerful.
Yeah. I think you'll do great. I really do. You're smart. Type 3 moms. We get to the bottom of things. And we're tough. We have stability. We have that determination that really supports us, that I trust that you'll see what needs to be corrected and probably make those changes really quick.
Good.
And he just wants to be a happy child and have a happy mom and a happy family. Mm-hmm. His needs are quite simple, actually.
Yeah.
Because type 1 people are very simple people.
Natural.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay that they want to be happy and have everyone around them happy.
Well, I think it's a good thing in the world.
I think so too.
And remember that their nature to have things be playful and fun isn't about always the activity. And I talk about, you'll learn when you reread that section, fun isn't an activity, it's an experience, it's a feeling. And that's the feeling that they thrive on. They thrive on that feeling. And they're very smart, brilliant. We have a lot of smart type 1 people in the world. No type has any preference to being more intelligent or more capable or more giving or any, we're all just inclined for all of that as human beings. That's our God-given nature. Well, I'm excited for you. In the next, I'd say, few weeks, you'll see some big things shift. In the next few months, set an intention. You want to get them off medication, and that things will start to show up to support you in that.
That's wonderful. That is such a gift to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks again. I appreciate parents there, and to come on. There's no blame here. It's an opportunity to learn, become more aware, and then make changes from that place of awareness. And thank you, because you'll help a lot of other parents because you're willing to share your experience.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.